Especially the earring, because we're not going to replace that earring for quite a while. Quite a while. Let's go to... Go to this one. Another one. I think there's a repair dude up here in the market. Be up here? Oh, no. Oh, there he is. Arms mentor. Yeah, just go to one of these guys, repair all. Not that much early on, which is nice. Now we've got this in Central Shroud, and we've got East Shroud. Let's go over to Bent Branch Meadows and talk about Chocobo. Yes. Nope. I'm gonna save those tickets for later. Teleportation eventually gets pretty expensive. Charisma Jones. All right. We just need to go over here, talk to Luke a lot. I don't remember the voice we used for him, but we'll give it a go. Good evening to you, Seven. Is there something you need? You wish to have your Chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing, asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your Chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin, we will need a bunch of Gyashal greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you have it. Right, I forgot about that. So you basically feed your Chocobo these greens, and it'll stay out and fight with you even after you stop riding it. Boop. It's good to stay stocked up on those. Oh. Have you acquired the greens? Yes, sir. Superb. We shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but Chocobos are highly fond of Gyashal greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you, and then, once called, it'll be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your Chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order and it will act accordingly. And to the best of its ability, this simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortamp family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your Chocobo with a bunch of Gyashal greens, and then together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The brood Ziz that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Gyashal greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Right? In addition to riding him, you can also summon your Chocobo to fight alongside you. To do so, you will first require a bunch of Gyashal greens. This Chocobo favorite can be purchased in stores. To summon your chocobos, simply use the greens. Chocobos gain experience points and grow, just as you do in combat, but they can only fight in the same places in which they can be ridden. When traveling the world alone, your feathered companion may turn the tide when fighting enemies of a comparable level. Alright. So we'll visit the Stur. Is this who we go to for that? Maybe? Maybe? No, not that guy. There's another guy here that sells stuff. See if we can find him. Hello? Oh, I think that might be him right there. Yeah, so this guy will sell, and you want to try to keep your chocobo out fighting with you as much as possible, because it takes him quite a while to level up. And you want to keep them leveled. Purchase items. We want... We'll just get a bunch of these. Bunch of greens. I think we have one right now, so we'll get 98. Oop, 98. Few grand, and that'll last us a really long time. We'll go ahead and put that on our bar too. Right there. Right there. And we'll go ahead and summon our buddy. Once summoned to battle, your chocobo will remain with you for 30 minutes, or until he suffers injuries grievous enough to make him flee. To give your companion orders, use the commands located under Orders in the Actions and Traits interface. To order your chocobo to auto-attack, simply select Free Stance. You can dismiss your companion any time by selecting the command Withdraw. Use another bunch of Gyasha greens to summon your steed again. And I think, like food, you can increase that to an hour. Right up here you can see we have him for 30 minutes. Let's try using that again. Yeah, that added another 30 minutes. So he'll be out for a while. And I think we actually want to put him in healer stance. Oh, he's still too low for that. All right. We'll put it on our hot bar for now. So we remember. And then when you're mounted up, the time won't tick down. It's just when he's out in the free world with you. Oh, so that bug is still in the game then. I found this earlier. If you only have one mount favorited, even if you set it to only choose mounts with the mount roulette, that for mounts that you have favorited, it will choose any of your mounts. Down below? Below. I think it's up above. Darn it. That's right. We won't ride Chad all the time. We'll give him a break. I appreciate you guys all being here. I'm not going to abuse you. At least not too much. There we go. Now, we're going to go attack these here thingies. Actually, we're going to change classes too, because they're level 30. Yeah. Go get them. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Fortunately, your mount is never smart enough to really get out of the way. Bosom Buddies 1. As your chocobo's rank increases, he will earn skill points. These points can be used to acquire new companion-specific actions and traits. There are 3 different skill trees you can choose for your chocobo: Defender, Attacker, and Healer. When your chocobo acquires his first skill from any of these trees, He will also learn that tree's stance. Okay. Activating the defender stance will turn your chocobo into a defensive-minded stalwart. The attacker's stance will transform your chocobo into an offensive force. Finally, the healer stance will have your chocobo focus on restoring your hit points rather than participating in battle. How you choose to use your chocobo's skill points is entirely up to you, but remember, once an action or trait has been purchased, that purchase cannot be undone. Think about how you wish to use your chocobo in battle and choose its path of progression wisely. Yeah, so we're gonna go down the healer path. You do that on companion tab. And so I can just unlock that now. And now we have the stance. Okay, so I think we have him set healer stance now. Companion, actions. Yeah, so we got the little check mark. So he's not going to fight much. He's just going to try to help keep us alive. Right. There's a little chocobo regen on us. There we go. There we go. All right. We did that. Back on our mount. Gotta find our way back down the tree. It's over here. This is way better on a mount. Yay! Yippee! There you go. Just gotta get back up there. Could we jump up here? Yes, we can. Awesome. Talk to Luke a lot again. So you have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift, a saddlebag for your chocobo. Carrying Gyashal greens about can be quite cumbersome after all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well in your travels. Cool, so now we have extra inventory on our chocobo. A saddlebag for your chocobo is now available. The spacious sack can be used as a supplement to your normal storage, with features allowing for the simple transfer of items between the saddlebag and your personal and retainer inventories. Your chocobo companion does not need to be summoned to access the saddlebag. However, it cannot be opened while in an instance dungeon, so be sure to move items required on raids to your normal inventory before commencing the duty. Alright. What else do you want? Chocobo Keep Lukalot may be far from home, but has some matters close to his heart that he would like to discuss with you. Greetings, sir. Tell me, how goes the training for your avian mount? I could not help but notice that there is some bias towards real-life combat. All battle and no bonding makes for a less noble bird. I see that you already have a fine residence of your own. Why not build a stable for your chocobo? Closeness leads to fondness, and there are other perks. Indeed, I could tell you of those and more if you wish. We of Ishgard have a knack for chocobo husbandry. We have forgotten more than Gridania will ever know, I fear. residence. One Ishgardian knack is to stable chocobos at one's residence. This makes it possible to train and feed the birds. The second knack is to keep the stable meticulously clean and picked up. Chocobos are cleanly creatures and easily distressed by slovenly housekeeping. Shall we get straight to it? Pick up every vegetable scrap littering the stable, if you please. Okay. I suppose. Alright. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And go over here. Bloop. Bloop. All right. Have you collected all the vegetable scraps? Very good. I'll take those. The place is as fresh as cream. How well the chocobos look, fluffing their feathers in contentment. You would do well to lay in a magic broom. You shall need to use those for a proper cleaning, but that is for another time. There is more to stable care than simple cleaning. And that brings us to the third Ishgardian knack, fresh feed. I'm not the aptest tutor of this craft, however. There is one that has the knack right here in Bent Branch. That would be Mistress Margot, the resident botanist. She is in charge of all cultivars maintained here for the chocobos. Go to her and beg a few greens and information from her. She will not stint you on either. Okay. So over here's. Excuse me, pardon me. Some feed for your chocobo. Aye, you've come to the right place for it. It has been a warm spring. Try the cracker root. Many birds would otherwise go off their feed, cannot resist the luscious roots. We raise them with love as well as skill. Master Luculot tries to call that a knack. I've no quarrel with it. 'Tis a joy to grow, whether it be vegetables, chocobos, or the skill in one's hands. Why not try your hand at growing vegetables? You say you have a house. A house must have a field. Food grown with your love and care. How could your bird not thrive, eating feed such as that? Mayhap we are not what we eat, elsewise my father would be a codfish, a swim in butter. But the feed certainly makes chocobos, aye, so sensitive is their nature that you can see the effect of a particular feed as clear as day. But I have yet to tell you about the main feeds. You are sure to be fascinated. Shall we ever tire of speaking of the Gysahl greens? Precious, luscious plants. You can summon and train your birds with these greens, but as wonderful as Gysahl greens are, they are hardly unique in being attuned to specific areas of a chocobo's abilities. The art of raising a chocobo involves choosing balance between these vegetables to feed your bird, thus creating a chocobo that is, well, just so. The best laid plans of wranglers are often frustrated by a picky eater, though. Do make sure you come to know each bird's likes and dislikes. There are no pieces of magic tech to bend to your will, but when bird and man grow together, why, you might discover something very special indeed. Aye, and you would do well to grow your own feed. May as well fight with a pine sword to raise a chocobo without a vegetable field of your own. Visit a store to buy the seeds, and remember, love and skill, there's the knack. I do go on, don't I? You came for a handful of feed and got an earful. But that's the way of it with us botanists. Take this fine specimen of cracker root to your sweet chocobo, and I wish the both of the joy of it. All right. We got a cracker root. Ooh. All right. We're done with all that nonsense. Oh, we gotta show it to Luke a lot. Luke a lot. Were you able to collect some chocobo feed? Margot is never stingy with her vegetables. As fine as cracker root as I ever seen. A magnificent specimen. This will make the training all the more effective, I believe. We come to the fourth knack of Chocobo Husbandry 7, training. I hear head wrangler Keitha about her work. There's a thought. Go and speak with her. She will tell you much and more of training chocobos. Alright, just keeps kind of going on and on. Nice to see you, Venturer. Here to learn about training your bird, you say? Stable your chocobo, and you'll be able to train the sweetheart. But you need to give him a treat straight after and not a moment later. What I do is go to pick up a choice bit of feed before I get the bird into training. The results vary, as that slick ruffian at the Ebony Stalls used to say. Around here, results depend on how clean the stables are, what treat you give, but long as you love your chocobo, it's hard to muck it up. Well now, got a fine root, a cracker root, on you already. That'll work, a treat, no pun intended. Go on, start training little Leia there. Ooh, he tried to kick me. Oh, tried to kick me again. You feed little Leia the gigantic cracker root after her training. That was sweetly done, Venturer. Now you've some skill at this, I reckon. Some are made to train just like one bird, so you can handle any chocobo. Some venturers share a stable, you know. Might be you could care for birds other than your own. You muck out the stables, that means you're helping raise the other venturers' birds as well as your own. Don't matter who did mucking out, really. Those birds have been cared for, you see. That ought to hold you for a while, No use pouring too much wine into a cup. You'd best return to Look-a-Lot before his Isgardian brain case starts imagining the worst. Sweetly done. High praise indeed from Keitha. Excellent, excellent. I have now taught you all the knacks you must needs know at this time, I believe. It is my hope that you will add a stable to your residence and there raise a chocobo to serve as your brave mount and trusted companion. How I long to meet that bird someday. I trust you will not disappoint me. All right. Chocobo raising is now available. To begin raising your trusty companion, you must first stable him. Chocobo stables can be purchased and placed outside free company and private estates. One chocobo stable can house a whole company's mounts. While a chocobo is stabled, select train to increase his experience. After the training is complete, do not forget to give the chocobo a reward for his hard work. Depending on the type of reward the bird is given, his progress may change dramatically. Continuously feeding your chocobo a snack of vibrant vegetables or fruits will cause him to grow feathers of a different color. Cool, so you can change your chocobo color. It's kind of nice. We are going to go back to Conjurer. And now we're heading to East Shroud. We're going to kind of follow its path. Go back to town. And then go to the Lancers Guild. That's where that boat is. ferry. We'll just kind of zoom over here.
Aye. The ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to the East Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find the Hawthorne hut without much trouble.
Ferry skipper. Sweet Bloom Pier. I happen to be heading across the lake to Sweet Bloom Pier in the East Shroud. Yep. Yep. And we can mount up. Heck yeah. Yeah, so now, whenever we fight baddies, we'll have our Chocobo chat helping out and also leveling up. Be pretty sweet. Almost there. Just the guys inside here. Yes. Indeed, I'm a man of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn the sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more? You'd do well to speak with the master of this hut, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Okay. Come to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing. They're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're, beg pardon, friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all cluttered in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. Great.
The sylphs? Yes. Father's told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You'd do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest you face end up with a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches.
Okay. How about some duders out here? This guy.
The quickest way to a quiver woman's heart might be through her stomach. But don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me.
You need to lay off the cigars, lady.
Sylphs. Invertebrate tricksters and troublemakers. That's what they are. One day they're drawing mobile faces on our masks. The next they're seeding our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Now then, stop, and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter.